Hey everybody, how's everyone doing? Ba, 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 ba. We are live now. Yay! Yay! We have new emotes, everybody. It's not showing up on my Streamlabs yet, but Index can use them.
Yeah. I just reloaded the page and it worked. So if you're on the mod view in stream in slabs, hit out of it and then go hit to a different
Okay.
and then hit back. Yeah, it'll redo it. Look at that!
There we go.
Wait, how many sippy emotes do I have now?
Yeah. We got 4 more tier 1 emotes, everybody. 4 more good as heck emotes for y'all to use. We got a bonk, a head pat, a cheer, and a sippy emote for me. Which I think those are pretty common, very common emotes people have. So I'm like, good. Put them all on there. I have some more, but I'm going to put them on BTTV. So I'll upload those later and show them off to you guys. Don't worry, we got more coming. And then an animated one, hopefully. I have to commission that specifically. Whenever the hell we get those slots. They're taking a while. They're taking a while with that, aren't they? Some people have them, some don't. Or some shit.
I've heard some people have them and some people don't.
Yeah, I don't have it yet.
I wonder if I have it already.
Is it for subscribers or is it like a free to use one?
I think it's for the subs.
Okay.
So your animated, yeah, I already have it.
Shit, where is it under? What's tier 1? Okay.
Tier 1. I have tier 1. I have 4 more open slots. I have my animated one. Yeah. So I'm gonna. So you know how everybody didn't get theirs for like a long time for the 4? I got mine like right away, and it's because I've been. Come February next year, I'll have been streaming for 2 years.
Oh, for real? Oh, heck. Dexy's so quiet, the online test called her a bottom? What? Oh,
yeah! Sorry. I took a test and they called me a bottom.
We change you back to 100%.
I just really quiet.
Oh,
Bless you.
Sorry. Can you guys hear Index now? Is that good? Or should I make it louder?
I don't know.
I'm asking the freaking chat. Okay, we gotta spin the wheel for Kitten, actually. Thank you. Thank you, Elise. So let's do that real quick. Kitten, I hope you're here to hear this. Heck, why is it... Why the heck is it cut off?
Check. Yeah, I can... let me see. Yeah, Kitten's here.
Okay. Okay. Alright, let's spin the wheel for Kitten. What does Kitten get? Ooh, ASMR. Nice. Congratulations, Kitten.
Reyes King came back.
Hey, Kitten. I love you. There you go, buddy. Congrats.
And Ken just got back.
Congrats on first, man. I appreciate it. Dexy being a bottom, so nothing new. Oh. Well, she gets bullied by a fucking penguin on the regular, so I mean, that's pretty bottom. You get bullied? Who gets bullied by a fucking penguin, Index?
That's not fair. I also get bullied by Ken. And Elise.
But with me, you like it. Ain't that right?
I cannot confirm nor deny
Don't you lie.
the existence of such feelings.
Don't you lie. You like it. You fucking love it. You just want me to get real close to the bike and be like, hey, Dex.
Shut up! What? Stop!
Oh, God. Good timing, Elise.
Stop! Stop! I swear to God, I will kill you.
When a girl threatens to kill you, that's when you know they like you, huh?
After today, I feel like bullying Shion now. Oh, is it because... Oh, yeah.
What happened to Shion?
I did art of Shion.
Penguins are aggressive, IRL? No, they're actually not. They're pretty docile, actually. They do not fear humans. They will run up to you and fucking interact with you. Because they have no land predators, I don't give a fuck. They're very social. But docile, I would say.
Yeah. I sent you cat in Discord DMs.
What'd you send me? Oh, the picture you drew him?
Yeah. That's Shion.
It's very ubu kawaii.
I know, isn't it just a cute little Shota boy?
He looks like the kid I used to beat up and take the lunch money of.
Why did you have to say that when I was taking a Jenga? I almost spit it out.
What? They'll like
Probably while you're a penguin.
they'll probably like eat your toes probably while you're penguin. I can't argue with that now. Damn, penguin. What? I gotta get lunch money somehow. My parents didn't give me any. So I took it from the rich kids.
I got my lunch money by
Shion is little brother for kitten. Oh, that explains it. No, I didn't actually bully kids. I got bullied, and then I started bullying my bullies by beating them up, and they stopped fucking with me.
Is that really bullying, or is that just retribution?
No, bully the bullies. I started fucking lifting weights in high school, and they stopped fucking with me because I started fucking them up.
See, that's how you and Prince met.
No, actually, we met in college, but that was high school. I started lifting weights, and then people like got scared of me.
It makes sense.
If you can't be
I didn't
loved,
get lunch money. My parents just...
If you can't be loved, be feared. That's how you get respect. Be
okay, Riddick.
I didn't get lunch money. My parents just tossed whatever was on hand into my lunchbox. Oh, that's better than nothing. Prince and Pango met because Prince was his bully? No.
Exactly.
We would bully each other. It's funny. Like, we would literally just start fucking getting each other's faces, insulting each other. It's funny.
That sounds very much like him.
Yeah, we just talk shit. Prince is actually not very confrontational. He's more of a shit talker.
I feel like he would have a really hard time, like, confronting someone face to face.
No, like, he'll talk shit, but actual, like, confrontations, he kind of avoids them.
Yeah, I don't think he could even really talk shit to someone's face, though. Like,
no.
Like, to their face, like...
There was a time me and him, like...
He's such a valley girl.
We went to a liquor store at, like... I think it was, like, 3 o'clock in the morning or some shit. And we were just, like, laughing, had a good time amongst ourselves, right? And then the guy working the liquor shop was, like, this old grumpy motherfucker. He's, like... He was all pissed off, and he's like, I don't want any bullshit! No shit tonight, don't fuck around. And we weren't really even doing anything. We were just looking through the drinks, giggling amongst ourselves. And I was getting kind of mad. I'm like, dude, we didn't do shit. Prince didn't say anything. He's like, whatever. So, like, I don't know. He's interesting.
Oh, no, Elise, no.
For the bully, we don't do that here. That's not the fetish that we don't go.
Yes.
For is not my thing.
I love that in your pat emote the hand is penguinata.
Yep. And in the penguinata pat one, we'll have the penguin flipper patting her.
You're so cute.
I know, right? I want to put that as a BTTV emote. I probably should have did that, because, like, I was only making penguinata emotes be the bit emotes, but now I'm just, like, making them free. It not fetish, it joke. Okay, Elise. Okay. Don't take offense. We just don't vor here. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I gotta hydrate. Thank you, Dodo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I was just playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I want to stream it, but like streaming, I don't get many views during like daytime hours. Like when I get home from work, the first few hours I get like no views. So I'm just gonna record it off stream and put it up on my YouTube. So y'all can check out part 2 of my Pokemon Brilliant Diamond playthrough up there. But yeah, that YouTube that I don't upload to enough, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm almost too close to the 25 kit Beano. Alright, that's great. Then I'll be able to put another Penguinati emote up there for the 50k bit slot. Jesus, nobody's gonna make it that far. Not even God could make it that far. Am I right?
Years, just wait a little bit.
50k, that's $500 fucking dollars in bits. Which they'd pay like 700. No, they'd pay like 1,000. Almost $1,000 out of their pocket. That's insane. Good lord. Fucking Twitch.
That is horrible.
I eat corpses, shake my head. Only when they're dead. I don't eat them whole. I eat them in pieces.
I mean,
Vores
yeah.
Eat it whole.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm not a fucking.
You're not a snake.
I'm not a giant.
Or
dragon.
like a frog.
I'm not some giant fucking dragon or some shit.
You don't have. You can't unhinge your jaw.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. That'd be kind of.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird. I don't know. That sounds weird.
Your jaw unhinged like a snake.
It was like.
Oh
That'd be the noise you'd hear. It'd be gross. Give me 1 year. Damn, kitten. That's $1,000 you'd have to put in bits, huh? Because each dollar you have to pay $1.50 for, right? Shit. Each 100 bits you have to do $100.50.
Yeah.
I feel bad, actually. So what do you guys think of that thing Twitch is trying to implement that's testing out, where people can pay to boost your channel and make it more visible, more advertised on Twitch?
I have very bad feelings about that.
A lot of people do. I would feel okay with it if, like, at least a portion of it went to the streamer. But all of it goes to Twitch. That's kind of dumb to me. Then it's just pay to win.
Well, not only is it pay to win, but like it's gonna be people boosting big streamers.
Yeah, because the big streamers already have shitloads of people that donate to them, so they'll just be it'd be the same shit, wouldn't it?
It will be.
Pretty much, unless smaller streamers get if like a smaller streamer has a community of people that actually support them financially, maybe that'll help.
Huh.
Maybe, but all of it going to Twitch sounds like bullshit to me. You didn't hear about it, Kitten? You didn't hear about it? It's been very controversial on Twitter.
It's kind of yeah.
Yeah.
I have feelings.
I think I'd be okay with it if part of it went to the streamer to support them. But yeah, it's not really going to help in the long term, I don't think.
No. It's not. Like, I don't even get the boosting for like tweets and stuff either.
You can boost your tweets?
Yeah, you can boost tweets.
With money?
With money.
What the fuck?
And I don't understand it. I'm like, I don't understand people who do that. Like, I get it if you're like a company.
I thought
but
that
like,
was the point of tags.
Well, like, I don't know. I also don't like. I also have feelings towards the fact that Crunchyroll has its own VTuber.
Chunky Roll. Petition to change Crunchyroll to Chunky Roll.
Chunky Roll.
That's what
Permission
I call it.
granted.
Okay. Corporate streamers on the front page. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Like we already have that, don't we? Like the big fucking creators on the front page. That's it.
Yeah. It's just gonna be corporate streamers.
Ready for Hololive to dominate us yet again?
Yeah.
Okay,
Our
time to get
Dommy Mommies Hololive.
Oh god. Time to get $50 per hour job, never mind too much work. What fucking jobs pay that much? Jesus.
mean,
God.
oh my gosh, I got like I got a callback for a job that was salaried at 50K a year,
Okay. And
and I said no.
what was the job?
They didn't tell me.
You
And I
didn't.
also didn't read because I just was blindly applied for shit,
You
and they called me
didn't.
back,
You
and
didn't.
they were like, "Hi, we're GameStop," and I'm like, "I applied for GameStop."
GameStop offered you. Well, okay. GameStop's
It
going
was
to
for a
shit.
No, it was for a manage. It was for like a store manager position.
GameStop's going the way of the dodo.
Yeah, and I was in a GameStop store, and I said that to my friend, and this employee got so fucking mad. They're like, "Our numbers have been really good last year." And I'm like, during COVID.
Yeah.
During COVID. You
When
know it was during COVID. Your sales are gonna drop like a fucking stone.
yeah, when
And
people
they
were
have
stuck,
been.
when people were stuck indoors having to play games,
Yeah.
which they fought the law to stay open when they were not an essential business. Which wow, that was fucking stupid. But yeah, no,
We're essential. We
it's really
provide video games.
it's really unfortunate. But the way the market is going, they're gonna die. It sucks.
You know, that's why I think it might be better for them to go into being more of like a cafe. Like a
They thought about that. They were thinking about making it like a fucking whatchamacallit, a LAN cafe or whatever.
Mhm.
But like who wants to hang out at a fucking GameStop and play games?
Well, think about it. If they had like food, they put their locations near schools.
Okay, they need to
It was
expand.
really cheap. You had actual arcade games there as well. And
Mhm.
then you had like not just demos, but like the full like you could play full games. And they did like what card shops and stuff do and did like tournaments and
Ar-
that type of shit. Like
Arcades were good back in the day because consoles couldn't run arcade games as well as arcade machines could. Now that's not an issue. That's why arcades aren't really booming anymore. They're pretty
but
niche.
I think it would do like really well in like poorer areas where you could like just do like a subscription or something like
Maybe if
that.
they have like DDR and shit like that people can't really have in their homes that well, I guess. I don't
You can
know.
have DDR in your house.
Yeah.
I have like 4 DDR mats.
Well, yeah, you have the mats, but like the big fucking like step machine, you know?
Mm,
I don't know.
I
Are
have
they like the same more or less
love
with the
dance.
mat? Is it like the same experience? I've never tried.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same, only like the mats kind of break a little bit easier, but
Yeah.
they're pretty replaceable. Um, Also, you can't wear socks if you're on the mat because you will slip and die.
Oh shit.
And usually you do have to like if you get a mat, you have to make sure that it has stuff on the bottom of it so that it doesn't like crawl across the carpet and slip and die.
Oh fuck.
um One time I was playing Soul Calibur 2? No, not 2. Soul Calibur 5. And we didn't couldn't find the other controller. And so I used a DDR mat to play Soul Calibur.
Oh my god.
It was very crazy.
Alright. Alright. It is time to get into the game, y'all. That's why you're
It
here,
is.
right? That's why
Yeah.
y'all here, right? Is this not what you came for? Are you
I'm
not
being held
entertained?
hostage.
Huh?
I'm being held hostage. That's why I'm here. I'm being held hostage. Help! Help! Help!
Okay.
Help!
Somebody actually tries to save you. And you're just like, oh, I'm just kidding. I was just
I
kidding.
was just kidding.
Like, they find where I live and kill me. And they're like,
No!
you're free now.
No!
And you're like, I was just kidding.
I would feel so bad. I would cry. I mean, at least I go out to California. I go to your funeral.
Too late by then. Jeez.
Ah!
Alright, let's continue. Let's load. Okay, we're back to choosing the fragments. Which I'm actually into this. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Mostly because it's like fucking interactive as fuck. The most interactivity we've ever seen. So let's see what we can do.
No.
No. No. Red capsule. I don't remember a red capsule yet. Satoshi Hojo's awareness of his sins. No.
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 Wait, go back to that one.
Rika and Satoko's shopping trip is required. They did that. The Shinto priest contacting the Erie institution. I don't think the priest contacted the institution.
No. Go to the other one. I didn't read it.
Which one? This one?
No, the one to the diagonally. Yeah, rock candy.
We have the rock candy, but we don't have the detailed test results for Satoko.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Bottle of wine toast is required. Jiro Tomatake's promise is required. The draft numbers, no. Conflict between the Hojo family and Sonozaki family is required. The self-introduction of Satoko Hojo is required. I don't think we have the self-introduction.
I feel like we do, though.
The self-introduction of Satoko.
We
had the one where Satoshi was talking to Satoko, but it has to be...
Oh, okay.
She has to introduce herself, I guess. The death of Kozomi Sensei is required. Who's Kozomi Sensei?
I don't think they've died yet. Wait.
I don't know what Kozomi is.
Isn't that the guy that, is that the,
Oh, it's not shit. I gotta fucking... Thank you for telling me. Let's do this. Oops! I didn't change scenes! Whoopsie days! Oh god, I gotta turn Penguin Auto off, too.
Koizumi Sensei.
Thank you, Elise, for pointing that out. Oh my god. Okay, we are selecting some tips, trying to figure shit out. Prior consent for the collection of cerebrospinal fluid is required. No. Rika Furude's high temp fever is required. No. Completion of C117 is required. No. Thank you for pointing out, Elise. I'm out tonight. I'm out of it tonight, so I might be like half conscious. Uh-oh. What did you post on the meme channel?
I don't see anything in the meme channel. Oh, wait.
Fire? What the fuck? I'll have to watch that later. It's got sound in it. Oh, from the Queen Carrier is required? No. The results of the research on C103 and I-217 required?
It's a Nipa. It's a Nipa.
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 The research needs to have stagnated. Instructions for kidnapping operation of the Minister's grandson are required. I don't think we have the instructions for that.
No, we don't.
A bat to beat her to death is required. Don't think we have that. An execution order for the 30 years curse is required. Declaration of war from Oishi is required.
We have the declaration of war, but we don't have the other one.
Yeah, Satoshi Hojo must not be allowed to visit his sister at the clinic. Satoshi Hojo sense of responsibility as big brother is required. I don't think we have the visit at the clinic. Satoshi Hojo's detailed test result is required. Kosei's decision is required. Discontinuation of the section plan is required. We have the motive for Ide. We don't have the... I don't think we have help with the Queen Carrier.
We don't.
The death of Satoshi Hojo's aunt is required? No. Rika's father being marked as an opportunist is required. Rika's mother's suspicion is required.
I think we have that one.
I think so.
I feel like we might have that one.
The death of the construction site manager is required. The hospital is... We don't have the hospitalization. I think we could do this.
I think it's that one.
Yes, we got it.
Yeah.
No!
Oh no! Damn it!
Oh, we fucked up.
We fucked up!
Don't goof.
We're idiots! We're idiots! Which one do we have?
Where's Already did this one. Shit, that's a good... I don't think we can do any on the last 2 pages. Let me see. No. 7 fragments are required? I think we can do this. No. What the fuck?
Damn it!
The Taragoshi, that's... the later frag. We don't have that yet, I don't think. Game board must be set up. Game board must be set... Okay, I don't know about these. A fragment from the Tanagashi chapter is required. Tanagashi's 2nd chapter. I don't think we've gotten that far yet. Everything's like before
No.
chapter 1.
No.
A raw sea urchin and vitamin A required. A big teddy bear is acquired. No. Game board. I don't know if we have one yet. Okinakushi is the 1st chapter. Maybe? I don't know. The Revenge of Miyo Takano is required. Keiichi. We haven't gotten Keiichi yet. Yeah, so we haven't gotten a Keiichi yet, I don't think. The tea set on the random being put away is required.
Wait, try the try the red capsule one.
Did we get a red capsule?
I feel like we may have. It should be the one that has Arena on the front of it.
This one?
I think we have that one.
Nope.
Nope. I'm dumb. Oh no, we're stuck. Help, we're both stupid.
We have rock candy. Hojo's
But we
detailed
don't have...
test results is required. We don't have that yet, I don't think. Awareness of his sins. We have Riken's... The Shinto priest required contacting the Ida institution. I don't think we have this. Nope. Damn it.
Nope. I know we don't have that one.
Don't think we have it. Oh! Okay.
We do.
I didn't think the self-introduction was done.
I thought we had done it. I thought we had it.
No, because we had Satoshi talking to Satoko. I think. I don't think she ever introduced herself. I don't know. That's weird. The introduction of Satoko would have been a better fucking thing to put. I don't know. Anyway. The Hojo family is well known for going against the whole village during the dam conflict. Both the husband and the wife were rather aggressive, and they fought a fierce battle, especially against the Sonosaki family. Although the whole village treated them coldly, the husband and wife didn't really care and kept on fighting. In a way, they were extremely strong-willed people. I'm sure the children had to go through a lot because of them, though. Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun were treated coldly by the villagers as well. In addition to that, Satoko-chan and her stepfather didn't get along, so their stress levels must have reached their limit. Because I'm the director of the local clinic, a rather respected member of society, people usually tell me a lot of things. So I was aware of the treatment they were receiving even before I met them. I met Satoshi-kun first. Satoshi-kun came to the clinic because he felt ill from too much stress. He must have thought he had a cold. While I examined him, he even told me that. But hearing his repeated sighs and by seeing him, the exhausted look in his eyes, yeah, I knew right away it wasn't just a simple cold. Medication would heal his symptoms, but that'd only be a temporary measure. The only way to truly cure him would be to change his living environment. But that was easier said than done. He was surrounded by tangled and complicated relationships with the village and his family, so just resting for a few days and taking some medication wouldn't do. Time was the only thing that could ease off the cold treatment from the villagers, but we were talking a very, very long time. That's why I felt I had to be their first ally in this village so I could rescue them. I couldn't do anything about his stressful environment, but I could try to diminish the anxiety. So I thought the best way was to teach him how to vent his stress. And playing sports is the best way to do that. So I asked him to join the junior baseball team that I coach. As a researcher, I devote most of my time to Hinamizawa syndrome, but I too need to do something else to relax. I used to play baseball, so I decided to coach the local kids' team. After a while, the children of Hinamizawa started their own baseball team, and somehow I became their coach. Doctors can't provide health just by giving medication. You need a sound mind and a sound body. I believe health can be maintained through sports as well. But our team needed more people. So I thought of asking Satoshi-kun to join. But being a bookworm, Satoshi-kun wasn't interested in playing sports. He wasn't sure how joining the baseball team would help his situation. I didn't need to go on and on about athletic medicine to explain why sports help people become healthy. I just wanted him to experience it himself, to realize how great it feels to play sports. I think he realized it gradually. He was reluctant until the very end, but he attended all of the team activities and games. As I saw Satoshi-kun slowly regain his liveliness, I realized my plan worked. However, if Satoshi-kun was under that much stress, then Satoko-chan, who lived in the same family climate, must have felt the same way. Unfortunately, I didn't think of her back then. So when Satoko-chan was carried into my clinic as a patient, I regretted doing nothing about her even while knowing the situation. As Satoshi-kun recovered under my guidance, Satoko-chan was left alone in her stressful environment. Also around that time, there was an incident bad enough to make Satoko-chan collapse. That was, of course, her parents' deaths. The day of the Tanagashi Festival was a very uncomfortable time for the Hojo family because although it was a village festival, it was also a day to celebrate over the victory over the dam construction project. It's understandable that they would plan a family trip around that time so they could leave the village. Satoko-chan's parents fell off a cliff at the park they were visiting. It happened on such an unlucky day. Because it happened on the day of the Watanagashi, people said it was the curse of Yoshiro-sama. And people labeled the Hojo family as one that was cursed by Yoshiro-sama. The parents were given the cold shoulder by everyone in the village. So with their parents gone, Satoshi and Satoko should have been freed from that, but unfortunately, the accident happened on the day of the Watanagashi. That's why the members of the Hojo family continue to be shunned. Satoko-chan was the only one who was at the site of the accident. Satoshi-kun didn't go on the trip because he had an event with the baseball team. Therefore, the police mainly interrogated her. The detective, Oishi, suspected an act of organized crime by the village, so with Satoko-chan as the only witness on site, he drilled her with questions. She was as stressed as Satoshi-kun, perhaps even more, so of course she couldn't take it. During the interrogation, she began to wheeze and gasp for air. The anguished look I saw on Satoko-chan's face when she was carried into the clinic was very, very tragic. It broke my heart just to imagine what she had to go through. Coach, is Satoko okay? Yes, don't worry. She's a bit confused, but only temporarily. That's all. May I see her? She finally fell asleep, so I'd rather not wake her up just yet. Let's just let her rest for a while. Maybe it's a good idea to have her stay here for a few days too. Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Thank you. I know Satoshi-kun is a great big brother who truly cares about his sister. But he empathizes deeply with her. In other words, Satoshi-kun's worries and stress were reflecting Satoko-chan in herself. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but while Satoshi-kun was, of course, sad about his parents' deaths, he may, at the same time, have been a little relieved that they were gone. His sister wouldn't have to be driven into a corner anymore. Unlike Satoshi-kun, Satoko-chan didn't have the social skills to get along with her stepfather. So putting her mother aside, I was certain that losing her father, the greatest cause of stress in her life, would bring great change to her home environment. But I couldn't believe what happened next. The two were sent to live in an even worse environment with their aunt and uncle. Although at that time, I was rather optimistic, thinking this new environment would be better for the siblings. Nope, he was horribly wrong, Jesus.
Yeah.
God.
Beat that bitch with a bat.
Beat that bitch with a bat.
I think it's on the first page.
What?
The next one. The next one is on the first page. Because I think there's one on the first page that has to do with Satoko being in the hospital.
Yeah. Okay, that should be it.
Yeah.
Satoshi-kun is a good brother who takes great care of his sister. He went to visit Satoko-chan straight after school and kept encouraging her to get better every day. Without even hearing Satoshi-kun's stories, it's obvious to me that Satoko-chan never had a good relationship with her step-parents. She especially didn't get along with her stepfather. Satoko-chan even called a child abuse hotline once. Not only that, her parents ended up dying in an accident, so she just wasn't able to withstand all that damage. Satoko-chan is still very young, so everything must have been horrible for her to go through. Fortunately, she has a wonderful brother. Emotional wounds are hard to heal, but nothing heals those wounds better than love from family members. I'm sure that one day, Satoko-chan will be able to smile again. She's still in shock, but when she talks to Satoshi-kun, she smiles a little bit. Oishi from the police department keeps requesting to see her, but I think I need to protect her for just a little longer. While he's passionate about his job, I wish he'd be a touch more sensitive. If he reminds her of her parents' accident, her emotional wounds will start to open once again. That's the one point I worry about with Satoko-chan. I heard someone knocking on the door. It was Takano-san. It doesn't look right, wearing a nurse's uniform like that. She's a licensed doctor, so she should wear a white coat and act like one. Maybe this is fun for her, but I think she might be insulting the real nurses. I didn't say anything, though.
Dr. Irie, may I talk to you?
Oh, yes. Well, Satoshi-kun, if you'll excuse me. Sure.
Hello, Satoshi-kun. Please keep Satoko-chan company. She's always alone, so I bet she's lonely. Okay?
No, that's not true.
Okay, Satoshi-kun, you're in charge. I got up and let Satoshi-kun take over. Did something happen?
Not right here. Let's go to your office.
Takano-san smiled meaningfully. Usually, smiles bring happy feelings. But when it comes to Takano-san, that's rarely the case. Are you sure?
Yeah. The initial test results show that there's a possibility she's at L3 or above. We need to keep her here and run some more tests. The results aren't in yet, but from what I can see, it's very possible that she's at L4.
Takano-san's eyes sparkled in a weird way. There's a reason for that. For us, finding patients in the terminal stage is a valuable boon to our research. In fact, as a result of dissecting the murder suspect from last year, we've made great progress in our research. In other words, we finally managed to isolate the pathogen. We also discovered that when the host dies, the pathogen melts away within hours. Once that happens, it's undetectable. That's why we never found the pathogen when we performed autopsies. Our research made a lot of progress after that. What we found in the past year has easily surpassed what the late Dr. Takano found in decades. We're now studying the nature, the effect, and the symptoms of the pathogen, as well as treatments and vaccines. In other words, a living specimen who's at the terminal stage is a necessity for our research. However, we rarely find a patient who's gone that far, who's reached L5. Hinamizawa syndrome once created huge numbers of L5 patients, but today it doesn't have such potency. Because of that, we have to secure L5 patients, or patients who are close to reaching L5, as quickly as possible. Sadoko-chan possibly qualifies to be the next sacrifice. To keep this strange disease a secret, we can't let the patients who may be at L5 go. We have to run more tests first. Then we'll figure out what to do next. In any case, Satoko-chan seems so calm. Her behavior is nothing like the man from last year. Initial tests are in error sometimes. We'll have to wait for the results or more detailed tests to determine how serious her condition is. Okay. Let's admit her for observation. Please let the staff know to get things ready. That sounds like a formal answer, but if the results come back positive, that will be the green light for her dissection. I don't know Satoko-chan that well, but I've known her brother Satoshi-kun through the baseball team for a long time. How could I dissect the apple of Satoshi-kun's eyes? I can feel scary images flashing in my head for the first time.
Don't worry. Ah. Everything is already taken care of.
She smiled as if telling me that the dissection is already being prepared for too. Is it just her who's smiling? Am I smiling like her too? When I dissected that man last year, I did feel guilt beforehand. But once I started, it was like I was in paradise. All the pieces of the puzzle that were left by the late Dr. Takano fell into place. And at the same time, they didn't. How exciting it was. Knowing that we are the first ones to take the first steps to solve a mystery, that is. I don't even know how to explain this feeling to those who have never experienced it. There's no way to describe it with words. The only thing I can say is that even a year later, I still remember it vividly. So if the results show that Satoshi-kun's beloved sister is to be dissected, can I control myself? Can I stay calm? But that means I'm a failure of a human being. I know very well that the Hojo family was treated poorly by the villagers, and I know that Satoko-chan had to go through. Also, I know Satoshi-kun loves his sister, who is his one and only beloved blood relative. How can I dissect Satoko-chan using my research as an excuse? I didn't feel much guilt for the man from last year, but I feel unbearable guilt towards Satoko-chan. That means what I did last year was very sinful. I don't care if a stranger dies, but I don't want Satoko-chan to die. That's not right. All lives are equally precious. I tried to convince myself that he was a violent murderer, but maybe he only became that way because he was at the terminal stage. I don't know anything about him before he became deranged. Maybe he was a model citizen who was worthy of respect. Unfortunately, he became ill and ended up doing what he did. Maybe he was a victim himself. Just like my father. I know more about Hinamizawa syndrome than anybody. This disease makes people act in bizarre ways, without those people realizing it. So when the people at the terminal stage do such strange and violent things, one should be sympathetic. I already knew that back then when I decided to go down this path. I should have remembered it sooner, but I only did it just now. I finally realized what sinful research I'm working on. Satoko Hojo's detailed test results came back. The results say L5. She's at the terminal stage of the terminal stage. It's actually a surprising result. In last year's case, the patient was extremely deranged. According to Kano-san's records, he complained about itching coming from the lymph nodes all over his body and he wanted to clot his throat, just as the late Dr. Takano mentioned. But Satoko-chan isn't displaying such symptoms. Even in the late Takano's data, throat clawing is said to be a characteristic symptom of the terminal stage patients. However, not all patients experience that symptom. Besides, emotional expression is very different in each person. Even if it's the same emotion, one patient may express it rather violently, another may express it calmly. There's one way of knowing just by looking at a person. But Satoko-chan's detailed test results say that she's at the terminal stage of terminal stage L5. In other words, she may be feeling what that man from last year was feeling. It's just that she isn't expressing that feeling in the same way the man was. Hinamizawa syndrome affects the frontal lobes of the brain. It stimulates the most primitive of emotions, doubt, very strongly. As a result, terminal patients are trapped in delusions and paranoia and end up committing horrible crimes. Stoko-chan seems to show improvement when she's exchanging friendly words with Satoshi-kun. But there's a paranoia stirring inside her that may put her in a deranged stage at any moment. I can't let her leave the clinic like this. However, if things go according to the manual, I will have to make a decision on her dissection. My decision will only be a formality. I can't actually refuse. Takano-san appears to already working on the dissection schedule. That plan will come to me. Would I feel the same way while dissecting Satoko-chan? Would I be able to experience that trance once again? No, the question is, can I fight the temptation? As I pretend to question myself, I'm letting Takano-san prepare things on her own. By doing so, am I passively agreeing to Satoko-chan's dissection? If possible, I want to save Satoko-chan. I don't want her to be a sacrifice for this research. I don't want to dissect her. Then, what about the man from last year? Do I only care about the lives of the people I know? If I don't dissect her, do I let her live and leave the clinic? Do I simply wait for her to become deranged and commit a horrible crime? And then she'll end up here, just like the man from last year, and I'll end up dissecting her anyway. The man from last year was dissected alive, and kept that way for several months. With his skull left open, he wasn't allowed to die for several months. He was kept alive just for our cruel experiments. Jesus, several months? Several months of being alive with his skull cut open.
That's
Is that possible? Is that possible to keep him alive like that? For that long? I don't
I
think
mean,
so. God damn. They're like fucking with his brain
Is
for
it
several
ethically
months.
is it ethical?
No,
but I think it actually is
like
possible.
physically possible to do that. Good lord.
If you do it right, I guess it would be possible.
I don't want to do that to her. I don't know what to do. Even debating and agonizing over it is leading toward consent to her dissection by elimination. God damn. Okay. Ada. There you go, kitten.
Ada, ada.
Ow, ow.
Oh, go. Owa, owa.
I gotta get some water real quick. I'm not going to take a shit. I just need some water.
Okay,
Fucking thirsty as fuck after all that reading. I'll be
I'm
right back.
thirsty too.
I'll be right back.
I'm eating gummy worms. You're welcome, Kitten Shop. Kitten. My cat has to smell my candy before I eat it. Because he doesn't know what it is and he wants some. No, I'm not sharing. It's my candy. I got it from the dollar store. Dollar store candy. Yeah. Yum, yum, yum. Is our candy indie? No! My candy. My candy. Alright. Bye. My cat jumped down. Ken deserves some. Hand it over, Dexy. Ken deserves some. It's okay, Ken. I have gummy worms and like sour bites and caramels, Hokkaido caramels, and strawberry wafers. And if you don't feel like candy, I'll give you my cup of noodle curry. But I'm not sure what you want. We're just waiting for Penguin to get back,
Alright, I'm
getting
back.
water.
I'm back.
Oh, back. Back again. Penguin's back. Tell your friends.
Ugh.
Welcome back.
Ugh. Ugh. Fuck, I was thirsty. Oh, God.
You sound thirsty.
Ugh. That was a lot of reading.
Do you want me to send you some stuff to quench your thirst?
Sure. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. Uh-oh. How you liking that sippy emote, kitten? Pretty fucking sweet, huh? Are you sharing? Is there candy? Candy? Hand it over, Dexy. Candy. Kitten deserves more. It's okay, Kitten. You can have some of mine. What the heck? What are y'all talking about? Candy? I want some candy.
I'm eating candy.
Aw.
I'm eating wafers right now.
Oh, those little crunchy thingies?
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for your mom.
Don't make me hit you.
Okay, where's that quenching my thirst thing?
What?
Where's the quenching my thirst? Where's the thing you're
Oh, yeah, let me get some, let me go grab it. Quench your thirst.
Uh-oh.
Thirst with a capital T.
Okay. Looking at these emotes, we have Kyosuke Ita's decision. I think we can do this one. Yeah, he has to decide. He's gonna dissect it.
I didn't
What?
draw this, someone else drew this.
Fuck.
Someone else drew this, but there you go. Quench your thirst.
Who drew that for you? Holy heck. That's pretty good.
Falcon did.
I have no idea what Falcon is, but that's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good.
I'm guessing that you just really like the toes.
Well, yeah. I like titties too. I mean, those boobies look very suckable.
Oh my god. To Usa? Usa. I don't think I'm subbed to Usa.
I'm not subbed to her, but I do follow her.
I think the next one is on this page. The next one we need to read.
This one isn't. It's decision. He hasn't decided yet, so. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Wait. No, that's not it.
No.
That's not it either. Hope from
Yeah, it's
Queen
not
Carrot.
it.
That would be Rika. No. We don't have the decision of Ide. We don't have the discontinuation of that. So
We don't.
No. 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 Satoshi Hojo must not be allowed to visit her sister at the clinic. I think this one.
No.
God damn it. Okay. No. Nope.
No.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Rock candy is a treat is required.
Yeah.
think we can
And
do
the
this.
test results. Yeah, we got this.
Okay, good. A group of boys are playing baseball under the powerful sun. The sound of cicadas makes the heat stand out even more, but to those boys, it's just another kind of cheering from the crowds. Of course, they go through training exercises to build stamina, but the boys don't actually like such routine activities. What they look forward to the most is the free game after practice. The school in Hinamazawa is actually borrowed from the forestry service. The schoolyard is made of gravel, so it's not very appropriate for playing sports on. Compared to that, the grounds at the school in Okinomiya are properly maintained for athletic activities, so the kids grow even more energetic when they come here. Kids from Hinamazawa really don't care if the ground is made of gravel or not. The other instructor is watching the game, so I decided to go get some drinks for the team. Coach, where are you? Do you want to read Satoshi, actually?
Yeah, I'll read
Give him a
Satoshi.
girly femboy voice.
Coach. Coach. Where are you going?
I thought I'd go get some drinks for everyone. Do you mind helping me, Satoshi-kun?
Oh no. Not at all.
Satoshi-kun decided to come along with me. Sometimes kids don't like what grown-ups choose, so I'm glad he agreed to help. Satoshi-kun and I got in the car and headed out to the grocery store nearby.
Manager? How's Satoko doing?
Well, she's doing fine. Although it's an extremely slow process, her emotional wounds are healing. I think we should let her rest for a little while longer. It's natural for Satoshi-kun to be worried. Satoko-chan has been in the hospital for over 2 weeks. Of course, he doesn't know his sister has Hinamazawa syndrome. Not only that, she's almost at L5. She could become deranged at any moment. He believes she's depressed because of the shock of their parents' accident. He came to the clinic every day to cheer his sister up. But Satoko-chan has become emotionally unstable and was showing some dangerous symptoms, so we called off the visits. In fact, Satoko-chan is not doing so well. L5, the stage Satoko-chan is at, is a very abnormal one. The man from last year who was at the same stage was acting so abnormal that even a drug addict in his final stages would have turned and ran. There is no guarantee Satoko-chan won't fall into the same condition. While we performed the autopsy on that man last year, we learned the true identity of the syndrome and gained a great understanding of its mechanisms. We even discovered some important facts that may lead to the development of a cure. However, we may yet have to find a method of actually curing the disease. So if Satoko-chan becomes unrecoverable, we may have to dissect her, just like we did the man from last year. However, how can I tell Satoshi-kun about his sister's situation? All I can do is make vague comments and lie to him that she's recovering. What if she becomes much worse? That would make me an unforgivable liar. The tiny bit of conscience that remains in me hurts.
If it's okay with your clinic, can she stay there a little longer?
Why are you saying that? I thought he wanted her to come home as soon as possible, so I'm a little surprised.
Well, actually, Satoko doesn't get along with her aunt.
I heard she didn't get along with her parents, but she can't get along with your aunt and uncle either?
Toko doesn't open up to grown-ups.
Satoshi-kun has told me about their family background. Their mother's constant remarriages wounded her children deeply. Satoshi-kun was able to overcome it, but Satoko-chan was too young to be able to do that. That left her traumatized, and now she has a tendency to distrust or dislike guardians who aren't related to her. Actually, nobody would like a guardian who isn't related to them. It's not just Satoko-chan, but usually people try to deal with that, even if they don't like it. I guess Satoko-chan's not capable of that.
Our uncle isn't home much. Besides, even when he is, he's either sleeping or watching TV, so he's not the problem. But our aunt really goes after Satoko.
Why doesn't she like her? I can guess why. Satoko-chan's parents were dam proponents, and because of that, the villagers considered her the aunt and uncle part of the Hojo family and ostracized them as such. Moreover, they passed away suddenly in an accident and left 2 children behind, so I guess there would be more hate than gratitude. If she had been obedient like Satoshi-kun, everything would have been fine. But Satoko-chan can't be that way. She knows that in her attitude and expressions, which leads to her and her aunt having a big fight.
I've told my aunt about Satoko's situation, but she just can't understand.
I think you're a great big brother, Satoshi-kun. You're the one and only relative Satoko-chan has left now.
Right. I feel that way too.
Satoshi-kun said with a slight hint of sigh. He doesn't say it, but it seems Satoshi-kun has grown tired of having to cover for Satoko-chan every time she and her aunt fight. He's a good person as well as a good big brother, so I'm sure he'll do anything to cover for his sister. But that's a very exhausting thing to keep doing forever. Satoshi-kun was already doing that when their parents were alive. And eventually, his mental equilibrium couldn't handle the strain. He grew sick and he visited my clinic. I thought his circumstances might have improved after the initial cause. His parents were gone. But it seems things were even worse than before. I understand. I can't release Satoko-chan if things are like that. Her symptoms may return again. Don't worry about the hospital fees. I'll make sure Satoko-chan truly recovers. While trying to pretend I'm listening to his request, I feel a little disgusted at myself for making such selfish excuses. I'll make sure? Takano-san is working on her dissection plan as we speak.
If that's possible, that helped me too.
What?
I mean, if Satoko stays in the clinic a little while longer, then I can relax as well. That's all.
What do you mean?
As soon as Satoko comes back, I know she'll get into fights with my aunt again. Then it's back to the days of constant fighting and screaming again, and I'll probably get dragged into it too. So, if Satoko were hospitalized for a very long time, that would be the easiest on me. But when I think like that, I hate myself.
Toshi-kun. Toshi-kun is a great big brother who always sticks up for his little sister. But that doesn't mean he doesn't feel burdened.
To think things like this. Oh, what a terrible big brother I am. The more I think that way, the more I hate myself.
Toshi-kun said, sniffling once. His expression was one of anguish, as if truly feeling his own sin. His desire to be a model big brother is putting himself under greater pressure. I feel bad for Satoko-chan, but I also feel bad for Satoshi-kun in a different way. As someone who knows the both of them well, I feel that I must be their ally, since they don't have anyone else who cares about them. Oof. Moral dilemma. It's like, oh yeah, I care. Let me just open your sister up a little bit, you know? Just crack her open like a crab. Like a fucking crab shell. Satoshi Hojo's awareness of his sin is required to forgiveness whenever you do his sins. No. No. Nope.
It's on the first page.
I think. Nope. His decision. I don't think we have his decision yet.
It's the decision. Yeah, no. That last one was his decision.
Was it?
I feel like it was.
I think so. Nope.
I was wrong.
He hasn't made his decision on what to do. Nope.
Hmm.
Probably second page? Nope. 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 This one, I think. Nope. Fuck.
No, because he hasn't been stopped from going to the hospital.
They called off his visits. They said in the last tip. I guess I don't know.
Did we already get the death of Kozomi Sensei?
The what?
The death of Koizumi Sensei.
I don't know who that is actually. Koizumi Sensei, is that the? That's not the manager of the fucking dam construction project, is it?
No, it's not.
I don't have a bottle of wine. No. Riga family move. No.
We have that one. Wait. We have that one. Yeah, we have that one.
The mysterious death of the Furude couple is required. Not
Oh wait, no, we don't.
we have
I lied.
Satoku's parents' deaths. Yeah.
I was incorrect.
A red capsule. We don't have a red capsule yet. I don't think we have any of these. No.
Wait, what was the Tanagashi one?
I don't think we have this yet.
I don't think we do either.
Maybe we have this. Maybe.
Maybe.
Nope.
Nope.
Never mind. Shit, this is tough.
We're dummies. We're dummies.
derp, 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 derp.
Derp, derp, herp, derp.
We have the motive to become a doctor. We don't have the discontinuation.
No, we don't.
We don't have the death of his aunt, her aunt. We don't have this one still yet. Nope.
Nope.
Results of the research on C-103. We don't have the truth about the accident now. I thought it was this one. We already checked this, yeah. Okay.
We're dumbs. We're dumb.
I thought it was this one. I really thought it was. Fuck.
We're both dumb.
Completion of the medicine C177 is required. We didn't have
Nope.
any medicine completed. We don't have Rika's high fever. We don't have the collection of the fluid. We don't know who Koizumi Sensei. Who is Koizumi Sensei? Did you look that up?
Click it.
Nope. Who is Koizumi
Nope.
Sensei though?
I don't
Is that one
know.
of the teachers at the school?
No, I think they're someone from Tukano's past.
The forgiveness of Ren Ryugu's sins. What the fuck is that? Maybe the... Oh! Forgiveness of Reina's sins. What? I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either.
My harsh and brutal days are still continuing without end. The situation between my aunt and Satoko remains the same. My aunt yells at Satoko for no reason every night. Although Satoko cries, she still talks back to her. So my aunt's yelling goes on and on forever. Satoko's crying goes on and on too. Poor Satoshi, Jesus. When Satoko sees me, she grabs onto me. She hides behind my back and tries to ignore my aunt's yelling. She always comes to seek my help. Satoko doesn't open up to anyone but me. So if I don't protect her, she'll be devastated. That security is something her parents didn't grant to Satoko. I have to be the one to provide it. But every day after day, every time Satoko cries, every day after day, Satoko grabbed onto me while crying yesterday. I patted her head, but along with pity, a different emotion came to me. I wanted to grasp her head and smash her against the wall. What an unbelievably devilish and awful emotion. No. I can't think that. No, it's not that I can't think it. I just can't acknowledge that feeling. Since that day, there's been someone else inside of me. That someone is trying to eat me up from the inside and switch places with me. When Satoko begs for my help while crying, that person tries to make me spill out some awful and hateful words that are sure to damage Satoko forever. Leave me alone. Don't grab onto me. Go away. No. I can't. To prevent him from taking over my body, I clenched my stomach and drove him out. I managed to do that. But that wasn't it. That person is coming after me, trying to get back inside of me. I won't let such a scary thing get back inside of me. He knows there's no room to slip into my heart as long as I keep it held shut like this. So he stopped trying, and instead is following right behind me. He's waiting for me to let my guard down. When I walk, he walks right behind me. He's breathing down my neck. He follows me everywhere, and when I lie down, he stares down at me. He's waiting for the right moment to jump back inside of me so he can hurt Satoko. It's been so hot lately. Maybe the heat is getting to me, and that's why I think things like this. I'm the only family Satoko has, so I'll have to protect her from my aunt for the rest of my life. That's my eternal duty. The rest of my life? Forever? Do I really have to do that forever? If only Satoko... But I'm her only family. But it's because of my aunt. But it's because of the villagers, too. It's almost with Tanagashi. Some irresponsible people are saying that the curse will once again fall upon Hinamizawa. They're also saying it'll fall upon me and Satoko for sure. Maybe it's just my imagination, but lately the villagers expecting it are giving me especially sharp looks. I feel like I'll be killed on the day of the Watanagashi. Of course, there's no reason why I would be killed, but it's just my imagination. Pat. Don't come inside of me. Satoko's my only sister and my family, so don't tell me those awful things. Pat, stop. Don't come this way. The footsteps came up right behind me, and the hand touched me on the shoulder.
Ah!
Oh. Go ahead.
Oh, Rena.
Are you okay? Are you?
Hey, what's up, Jelly? Welcome.
Hello, Jelly.
I must have been acting weird. Rena looked worried. Her name is Rena Ryugu. She just moved here and transferred to my school. Nobody remembers her, but supposedly she lived here in Hinamizawa a long time ago. In fact, she hardly remembers anything about Hinamizawa either. Oh, McDonald Duzuru. What did you get? Jelly. Since Mion is the only other classmate who is my age, I'm glad she's my friend. She usually carries on happily alongside Mion, but occasionally she throws more feminine consideration.
Are you feeling okay? Do you want me to take you to the nurse's office? Do you?
Thank you. I'm okay. Do I look sick or something?
Yep.
Do I look
Yep.
like shit? Yeah?
Yeah?
Her immediate answer made me realize I wasn't myself.
Is it about Satoko-chan? Are you worried?
No, that's not it.
She knows that my problem isn't physical, but a mental one. This is just something I think to myself, but even though Rena seems like a very easygoing person, maybe she's more perceptive than she appears.
Hmm. Since I just transferred here recently, I may not be able to help much. But I can still listen. Sometimes talking can help.
Although she just transferred, she already knows quite a bit about me and my sister, and also about the situation with the villagers. But talking about it won't solve anything. Actually, if I talked about it, I feel like I'd be admitting to my weaknesses, which might give that person a chance to get inside of me again.
Huh? You were so surprised just now. That's why I thought something really serious was bothering you. Oh,
Oh, that's. Lately, I feel like someone is following me all the time. Pit, pit, pat, pat. I thought that was you. Sorry. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
footsteps? Following you.
Eh?
I know those. I know those footsteps.
Uh-oh. Higurashi. I have Borger and Flies. No, it's mine. Oh, you two gonna fight?
I want a burger.
Do you want anything from McDonald's? Borger!
Yeah, a burger. I want chicken sandwich, actually.
Chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich, yeah.
We don't have Satoshi's part-time job.
No,
Don't
just
have,
a.
don't have a bottle of wine.
I feel like we actually have the kidnapping.
Don't think so yet. Like they mentioned, kind of.
Because that one would have been way earlier than all of this. Because he was during the dam construction.
Could try. Oh wow, you're right. That very night, the head of the Furude family, the priest, gathered his wife and Rika together for a family meeting. In Hinamizawa, it was tradition for the three families to gather and discuss the village's issues. So it's hardly unusual for big families like the Sonozaki family and the Kimiyoshi family to have meetings beforehand to sort out opinions among themselves. However, the Furude family has lost its branch families, so there were only three of them left. So until that day, they had never had a family meeting at all.
What is it? You're being so formal. Is it about the dam construction?
The dam was the most important issue in the village at the moment. The wife naturally assumed the priest wanted to talk about the dam. For him to gather all of them together like that, it must be a huge decision he had to make. Perhaps he was going to talk about joining the pro-evacuation camp. No, it's not about the dam. But it's about something extremely important which concerns this village and perhaps all the ancestors of the villagers too. The Furude family has served in the priesthood of Oyashiro-sama, the guardian deity of the village, for generations. So for him, the head of the family, to start out that way, it must be something extremely important. Yet he said it wasn't about the dam, so what could he want to talk about? I married into this family, so I want you and Rika, who carry the true blood of the Furude family, to listen very carefully. You two aren't normal human beings. Fuck.
Hmm. I'm the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, right? Rika, you shouldn't say such things. Here, let's talk about things like that without her. She's heard enough nonsense from elderly people in the village hall already.
What she just said about her being the reincarnation of Orishiro-sama, that appears to be true.
What?
It's a rather long story. Please, just sit tight and listen to me. The wife had a dumbfounded expression on her face, not knowing what he was going to say, but Rika was completely relaxed, wearing her usual carefree expression. The priest started to talk about his wife calming. The priest started to talk after his wife's calmed down. There is a disease in this village that has been here for many years. It's a special disease which only exists here in this area. Everyone who lives in this village has the disease. Not only the people who live here now, but all the people who ever lived here had the disease.
What? But we're all perfectly healthy. I've never heard of a disease exclusive to this village.
Calm down. As long as we are here in this village, the disease won't cause any problems. But once you move away from this village, that's when it starts to act out. Do you understand?
No, not really, actually. How can you expect me to understand such a thing? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the same as the curse of Yashihiro-sama.
Rika said it so calmly, while her mother became frustrated. That's right. They say that when you leave this village, you're cursed. It's just like that. In other words, the curse of Orishiro-sama, which our ancestors have feared for generations, is actually a disease that only exists in this village.
How can this be possible? We've left the village before. Other villagers too. Some have gone on business trips, and some even traveled to foreign countries.
True. But that's probably because the disease is weakened over a long time. So it was going to disappear eventually. But the business with the dam disrupted that process. Everyone knew that during the dam war, the entire village was aflame with agitation. Such excitement and emotional instability makes the disease stronger.
I still don't know what you're trying to say. I thought what we thought was a curse all this time was actually caused by a disease?
That's right. All the rules Orishiro-sama came up with were to protect the villagers from the disease.
No way! Then Yashihiro-sama is actually a disease, not a god? How could that be? Kondo. How can I explain that to the Furude family ancestors?
Calm down. The faith in Orishiro-sama won't change. The fact that Orishiro-sama is watching over Hinamizawa will remain the same. It just means that the disease producing Orishiro-sama's curse was in this village since long ago, that's all.
I won't accept that. How can I explain that to our ancestors? This is a desecration of the Furude family's age-old traditions. No, this is a desecration of Yashihiro-sama. Who told you such a thing? This isn't acceptable. In the first place, can you prove such a disease actually exists?
I can.
What kind of proof? Who gave it to you?
The people from the Ministry of Health and the National Institute of Infectious Disease Prevention. They've already found the pathogen, and they are searching for a cure right now. I saw the documents and the samples last week. The people at the Ministry of Health call it Hinamizawa syndrome.
No way.
As long as you lead a normal life, the syndrome is harmless. But once you go far from Hinamizawa, or if you become emotionally unstable, it's easy for the disease to manifest itself. When the disease acts out, you can be possessed by your own delusions and, in the worst case scenario, you can go mad. They discovered this disease during the war. A distinguished scholar noticed that only the soldiers from Hinamizawa came down with an abnormal disease, and he has been researching it all these years. They explained some details of this research, but I'm sorry. They are too complicated for me to explain. If you don't believe what I'm saying, why don't you go listen to them for yourself? At first, I was indignant too, wondering how they dared to blaspheme Orishiro-sama and spout such nonsense. The Ide Clinic was built to study the syndrome. It appears to be just a clinic on the outside, but it's actually a secret research center for studying the syndrome.
Secret research? That's ridiculous. If it's actually backed by the Ministry of Health, why aren't they doing it out in the open?
Well, I guess they can't. For example, think about leprosy victims who are misunderstood and exiled. They are still misunderstood and discriminated against, even today, in fact. If the whole country finds out about this and thinks that everyone in Hinamizawa who has contracted this weird disease can go mad at any moment, it'll turn into chaos. The Ministry of Health has taken that into consideration and is working on developing a cure while keeping the disease a secret. Don't get me wrong though, they aren't trying to put us on display or anything. They are trying to eliminate the disease and free this village from it. It was a different story long ago when we supported ourselves, but nowadays it's impossible not to leave the village. It's a simple act of leaving the village can trigger the disease. Do you realize how dangerous it is for the villagers, right? I'm repeating myself now, but in the recent dam protests, the whole village entered a strong, excited state, which is very bad for the Hinamizawa syndrome.
If some villagers go crazy and do something horrible, it'll be all over the media.
That's right. If that happens, it'll be too late.
But how can I believe this? Are you sure we're dealing with people from the government? Are you sure you aren't being tricked?
I don't blame you for not being able to believe it. They said we can come take a look at the facility anytime. I've seen it before and I know that no mere fraud could have set up something like that. Even the big hospitals in Gogura don't have such large-scale equipment. If you can't believe what I just told you, you should go to the research center yourself and ask questions. They can explain it better than I can. They said if their explanation isn't good enough, they can explain it to you at the National Research Institute in Tokyo, or even at the Ministry of Health's main office.
Whether I believe it or not, how are we related to that?
It is said that the Furude family inherited the blood of Orishiro-sama. And it is also said that if a girl was born for 8 continuous generations, that 8th generation girl would be the reincarnation of Orishiro-sama.
Beep. That's right. I'm the 7th, and Rika's the 8th generation. But what does that have to do with the disease?
This Hinamizawa syndrome is caused by a type of parasite. Although they're very tiny, you can't even see them with the naked eye. They say there's a sort of leader amongst these parasites.
Are you saying that's the Furude family?
It appears that the leader of these parasites is passed down through the generations only by people with a direct bloodline to the Furude family. In other words, in the previous generation, it was you. And now it's Rika.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Why would it be something as disgusting as a parasite in the first place?
Calm down. I'm not good at explaining things. Please have the experts explain it to you. According to them, studying this parasite leader is necessary in order to research the disease.
No. I won't have anything to do with such suspicious research, and Rika won't either.
I'm telling you to calm down. They think that Hinamizawa syndrome acts out when separated from the parasite leader, not the village itself. When you were little, do you remember villagers telling you that you had psychic powers? You were able to cure elderly people who got migraines after taking a long trip? That's the proof that you were carrying the parasite leader. The Furude bloodline has the power to cure people with the disease. To discover a cure, it is extremely important that we participate in their research.
If they study me, will the village be saved?
That's what they say.
And all the villagers are infected? Me? Everyone else? Satoko too?
Yes. Not only the people who live in the village, but their relatives in Okinomiya too. We're talking thousands of people. That's why the Ministry of Health spent so much money to build the specialized research center.
I object.
Objection!
How can I let Rika be sacrificed for something that suspicious? I don't mind. If Satoko can be saved, I don't mind being a sacrifice. I don't. I really don't. You be quiet, Rika. Mommy's talking. Mommy's talking. Be quiet, child. I absolutely refuse. I'll go talk to them and refuse them directly. I won't let them kill Rika in some crazy experiment. Besides, Rika is the one and only heir to the Furude family. What if something happened to her? The Furude family would die right there. Don't you see that? You need to think more about our family. That's why the villagers call you an opportunist. After all, don't you think it's odd? The Ministry of Construction is trying to submerge the village, and the Ministry of Health is trying to cure a disease. What in the world is going on?
The Ministry of Health has warned that this disease could be triggered by a change in environment, so they're actually trying to have the Ministry of Construction stop the damn construction plan. You really should go to the research center. Why would they build such a huge facility in a location that could be submerged? Rika let out a big yawn. It was long past bedtime for a little girl like her.
I'm going to bed now. Dad, please let them know I'm willing to participate, okay? Reika! You can't make such a decision without consulting me! Rika? Wait, Rika!
Uh-oh. They're gonna cut her open.
They're gonna eat her.
They're gonna cut her open and eat her brain.
They're gonna eat her.
Yum num the brain.
Yum yum yum. Yum 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 yum. I think the next one is now on page 1.
Okay, probably.
It's
Nope.
the one that it's the one on the bottom that we tried.
Rika's father being marked as up. Rika's mother. Okay. No.
What?
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 Okay.
Okay. All right. I guess.
Maybe this one?
No.
Yep.
Oh.
He agreed to help, and we already had the dissection of the crazy guy.
Okay.
Furude-san, thank you for waiting. We just finished the last test. She'll be back soon. I hope she is able to help. Of course. Rika-san will help the whole village. I think we'll be able to come up with a treatment soon. We're still looking into the structure, but we're finding out how important Rika-san is to the villagers. People with more serious conditions can't stabilize themselves. But we found out if they get close to the green carrier, they generate some kind of substance in their brain. This substance has a calming effect, and it seems to have the power to bring their symptoms down. If we can produce this substance, it'll end up making as powerful treatment. I see. Rika has that kind of power.
You shouldn't be surprised. People say the maidens of the Furude Shrine have the psychic power to calm both souls and demons, don't they? Even before we discovered it, it was already recorded in history. In the history of the last few hundred years.
That's true. I'm impressed with how wise people were back then.
Meep. The tests are all done.
Rika, good work. You must be getting tired. Why don't you take this and go get something to drink?
They took a lot of my blood, so I need to replenish.
Rika took that 100 yen coin that was offered to her and ran out in the hallway. I appreciate Rika-san's help. If she hadn't offered her assistance, our research wouldn't have progressed this far. Rika's very concerned about her friend with the syndrome. She said she wants to help because of her. Doctor, please take Rika's feelings into account. Of course. We're taking up her precious time every Sunday. So we'll make sure to get to the bottom of this. We may have to put her through some rather rough experiments, but I hope you'll understand.
We'll never harm her in any way, though. She's such an important person. She's the reincarnation of Oyashi Hirosama, after all.
I wonder how people back then found out about this syndrome, and how they knew the Furude family were the descendants of the queen. I'm truly impressed. By the way, there's something I have to ask you. I would like to ask you for permission to collect her cerebrospinal fluid. Also,
Cerebral.
there's a chance that we'll... God damn it. Cerebral?
Cerebral. Yep.
Also, there's a chance that we'll have to drill a hole in her skull to examine the inside of her head. A hole in her skull? Of course, we'll take every precaution. Rika-san is the one and only queen carrier. We'll make sure that she's safe. Her safety is our priority.
Of course, since Rika is a girl. We won't shave her entire head. However, we'll have to ask her to stay at the clinic a little longer so we can keep our eyes on her.
You can still receive visitors, of course. You're more than welcome to attend the examination. I'm sure she'll be more relaxed to have someone she knows nearby. Do you really need to perform this examination? Is it really safe? I can't absolutely guarantee your safety for either collecting cerebrospinal fluid or for drilling a hole in her skull.
Cerebral.
Cerebrospinal.
So,
Cerebral.
Cerebral. Cerebral.
Look at the spelling. Look at the spelling. B-R-O. Not B-R-I-L. Oh. Cerebral? You see how it's spelled right here?
Cerebral spinal.
Cerebrospinal.
It's a cerebral spinal fluid. It's
not
cerebral
real.
spinal fluid. So how they extract the spinal fluid, they actually they tap along your spine, and then they take a very large gauge needle. It's about 6 inches long, and they stick it into your spine.
Oh. That don't sound pleasant.
Oh, it's not. I fainted.
Wait, they put you out before, right?
Nope. You're conscious when they do it.
Why did... Oh, god, it's because of the brain they can't do it?
Yep. So because they're
Ah.
touching specific parts of your body, they have to make sure that you're conscious when you're doing it so that they know if there are any problems. And I passed out when they did it.
Oh god, that does
I
not
was just like, I feel really sick, and then I passed out.
Oh god. Oh god. Like I'm okay if they numb you or make you pass out, but being conscious
You
of
sh-
that. Like I was
yeah.
okay with the dental work because they numbed me and I just did not look at it. I was like, whatever.
So
They're putting drills and shit in my mouth. I'm not looking at it.
it's in your lower spine. So it's right in your lower back that they put the needle in. Your mid to lower back.
Oh, good lord.
Some people don't, it doesn't
can't-
bother them to have it done.
I
I
can't-
know
I
someone else.
I can't think about it. Oh my god. Oh, it's okay. But I'm saying it right. Cerebrospinal.
Cerebral spinal fluid.
Briel. So it's bro, not Briel. Right?
Cerebral.
Cerebro.
Cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebro.
Right? I'm saying it right,
Bro.
right? Right?
Yeah, it's bro. It's like bro.
Cerebrospinal
Cerebral.
fluid. Cerebro.
Yeah.
God damn
Spinal
it.
fluid.
It's always the off chance something might go wrong. Also, Rika-san might suffer from some physical and emotional discomfort. Even if this is important, we can't perform it without the patient's consent.
Actually, I've already talked to Rika about it.
What did she say?
She said that it's fine.
I've explained to her the possibility of danger, but we still need your consent. Sometimes, Rika truly believes that she's the reincarnation of Morishiro-sama, so maybe she feels obligated to sacrifice herself for the villagers. What an impressive child. Could you please let me talk to my wife? She understood the situation, but I still need to explain it to her. Sure, of course. Please talk it over with her. So, this examination is an extremely important step to the process of stamping out the syndrome, right? Yes. It will solve the mysteries of Inamizawa syndrome for sure.
At least, it'll be the first step.
As I already explained, if something happens to the Queen Carrier, the whole community here may be in danger. In other words, it's possible the whole village could end up with terminal symptoms.
That's right. According to the studies, within 48 hours of the death of the Queen Carrier, everyone with the disease will become dangerous sick. We must prevent that from happening no matter what. Well, unless it's me killing her.
Oh dear. If something happens to Rika, the whole village will go insane. Yes. It's our job to prevent that. It might seem ironic that we have to put your daughter in danger, but this is the only way to stamp out the syndrome. Dr. Ide, I hope you'll succeed in that examination.
As I said, there's no guarantee in medicine.
Sure. Ide answered with a nod, interrupting Takano's vague response. I will succeed. I'll save Rika-san. And the villagers too. I promise. Okay. I'll talk to my wife. I'll let you know about her decision. Yes. Thank you. After Rika and her father left, Takano started to laugh. What is it? What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. I just thought it was amusing to get permission from both the patient and her parents beforehand.
Rika-chan is going through something she doesn't have to. I thought I should ask as a courtesy. I would have gotten consent from the man last year had he been in a normal condition.
Are you being tormented with guilt ever since you started your research here?
What do you mean? This type of teasing was normal from Takano, but maybe she'd gone a little too far. Ide made it clear how displeased he was to hear that.
And you can only research Hinamizawa syndrome by using living beings. You feel guilty continuing your work because of that?
Those guilty feelings are a necessity. Whether it's a murder or dissection, the fact that you're taking someone's life is sustained. We have to accept that, and at the same time, devote ourselves to our research.
An extremely impressive theory you have there. Then, Dr. Irie, how many times have you gotten consent before you cut into people's brain?
Ide didn't think Takano knew about that.
How many brains have you cut up without consent, using your selfish theory that people commit crimes due to mental disorders as your excuse?
That is.
Common sense changes with time. Back then, doctors didn't need to explain anything and get consent beforehand. So I don't think you have to be concerned about the past. It'll be a problem now, but it was okay back then. So that's fine. But I feel guilty.
You
And
feel guilty.
but you feel guilty, and that's why you want to get consent from Rika-chan beforehand. And why you wanted to get it from him, right?
That's not true. In the first place, the treatment and dissections are.
Listen, boy. What you want is the stamp of forgiveness known as prior consent. Right? What you want is some stamp of forgiveness, some deception to fill your heart so you can atone for your past sin. If you regretted what you've done, then you never get involved with brains again. Yet you're dragging regret behind you as you continue to deal with brains, guilty all the while. If you truly acknowledged your actions as a sin, then you would have refused to accept the appointment as director. Isn't that right, boy?
I don't need to listen to this. Excuse me.
You must listen. The field of medicine is consistently won in battles against the air that airs ethics and social values. When Dr. Takano discovered the existence of the syndrome, the people in power at the time just disregarded their own ignorance and scoffed at his foresight. But he didn't stop researching until he collapsed. What he, oh, sorry. He believed that someday he'd be acknowledged, even if it was after he died. He still believed in it. He could do that only because of how strong his conviction was. If it wasn't for that, he would have given up. A strong will is what keeps research going.
Welcome, Raiders!
Only
Come
the
on and
most
come on and
determined can
enjoy the
achieve
show.
a result.
Hey, welcome. Saint to Burbs, how you doing, man? Welcome.
I got it. I got it.
Welcome, Raiders. I am the Ice Emperor Penguinato, and today we're reading some Higurashi. You've come at a very,
Can't
very,
spell.
very twisted time, actually. Oh, you done goofed. There you go. Genshin Impact? Oh, dang, man. Got some new blood. Oh, no, you haven't seen my model yet, huh? Yeah, I just, it's been, what,
Open
2 weeks or 1 week since I debuted it, I think? I forget. 1 or 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2.
It was.
When I did the last
Sorry.
Alice
Sorry.
stream.
Let me check. Does this have a date on it? No, it doesn't.
I don't think it does. But yeah, I am the waifu now. I think my artist did a really good job on making this. It's great. I love it.
Such waifu, such power.
Yeah,
Such yes.
People love it. And I'm really happy with how it came out, to be honest. You can become your own waifu now. What a fucking time to be alive, huh?
Great.
That is fantastic, though. I was deciding who to raid, and I saw the motto, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're doing that. The power of the booba. Yeah.
The power
Yeah.
of Booba.
It's surprising how much people just like the booba. I thought people would give me shit for using it with the guy voice, but not really. I think we're all open to the idea of becoming your own fucking waifu, no matter who we are. You know?
Have you seen that
I mean,
thing with Mark Zuckerberg? He's just like, I mean, I could do this. That's pretty neat. He just like gets the boobs. I mean, I could do that. This is pretty neat.
The future is now, old man. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, like, it's the same thing as like when you play a fucking game and you choose to play as the girl character. It's pretty much what this is.
Dude, I choose to be guys all the time.
I fucking choose to be girls all the time.
I
If
like
wanna-
looking at myself.
If I want to see somebody's ass run around some game world like for fucking 8 plus hours, might as well be a girl's ass. I mean, oof.
See,
Might as well be a sexy lady, huh? I mean, if I want to look at a strong masculine man, I can just look at the fucking mirror, you know? I mean,
That's the masculine penguin.
I am masculine man.
Masculine man.
Me playing an 8-foot tall female Helgard Rose Garden paladin in Final Fantasy XIV? Nah, I wouldn't know about that. God damn it. It seems like every fucking VTuber either plays Genshin or Final Fantasy XIV or both. And I do neither.
I have a Final Fantasy 14 account.
I'm out of the goddamn loop. I guess I have to start playing one of them.
I wanted to be a Lalafell because they're so cute. Squishy.
Although whenever I see somebody playing Final Fantasy XIV, it's almost always a cutscene. Like, maybe a fourth of the time are they actually battling? I would recommend Final Fantasy XIV, yeah. I haven't played much Final Fantasy, but you can just jump into that, right? She plays a potato. Yeah, Index does play a potato.
I like to play potato and I like to play Elf Boy.
Elf Boy, oh goodness.
I need the new one so that I can be Bunny Boy. I want to be a Bunny Boy.
Bunny Boy.
Bunny Boy.
I mean, honestly, if you want to be like a female character, like getting a V-Roy done is pretty cheap. For the most part.
I mean, it's free to do yourself too.
You can do it yourself too, yeah, if you have the artistically inclined.
If you have the abilities. Woo woo.
My model, doing mine from scratch as a newbie would be kind of hard, wouldn't it? Because of the hood.
I think the hood, because you have to do the hood in Blender.
Yeah.
The hood and the crown.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a little different for me because I've done like so many models. Like my first model was like kind of clunky, but like all of mine I've done myself.
I am amazed by how scanty your average Vieira will be. Vieira? What's that? V-Roy, do you mean? Vieira is just guaranteed fan service. What? What's Bird's talking about? Is that a Final Fantasy 14 thing?
Yeah. It's Bunny Boy.
Oh
It's
dear.
it's Bunny
Oh,
Boy.
that's a race. Oh god. Bunny
Yes,
people.
bunny people, and they finally introduced the Bunny Boys.
Oh no.
Oh my
Are the
god.
bunny girls just Playboy bunnies, pretty much?
The bunny girls are like strong, independent women's.
Oh,
They're like
okay.
so they're basically like the Amazons of the Final
Okay.
Fantasy 14 world.
Okay, I don't think I like that very much.
Yeah, they're
Let's-
the beautiful bunny girls. They're beautiful bunny girl Amazon women's.
So they're
And
big and
then the
fucking
bunny
muscular as
boys,
fuck, huh? I don't know, that kind of scares
the
me.
bunny boys are like
You would play a bunny boy.
I want to be a bunny boy.
It's funny, me and Edgar are like, he's like playing his opposite gender.
Yeah, the females are the alphas and the males are the betas.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And then I have one that's an aura too. I have a little cute little aura.
So what's the
A little aura girl.
what's the sexy class for the ladies? The
The
sexy race.
sexiest race is the auras
Auras for the ladies?
for any race.
Okay.
All of them are
You mean for
auras.
any gender, you mean?
Any gender, it's always an aura.
Oh, God.
They're the hottest of all the races.
Are they like elves or
They're
some
like
shit?
yeah, they're like dragon elves. They're like
God.
elf dragons. We
Since-
sentence you to death by snoo.
Oh my god, that Futurama episode. Oh boy.
Oh my god, it's one of the best episodes. I
I mean, a little bit of muscle on a girl's fine by me. If she has like built biceps, that's fine. But they get fucking gigantic, and I'm like, uh oh.
well, I mean, like I mean, I don't even like super muscly guys.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some girls lift weights, and like they don't get super huge. They just have like.
I mean,
they can flex, and you'll see the muscles, but they don't look like giant, you know.
I mean, when my arm wasn't coming out of socket more often, I think I could lift like 7,500 pounds. I was like lifting concrete, so like I totally get it. I think my row is pretty beautiful in choke me with your biceps, mommy kind of way.
Oh
Oof,
my.
yeah, I get it.
I just want to get stepped on. Fuck.
Baka.
I'm scared of tall girls stepping on me because they got strong legs and they crush my fucking skull, though.
I don't like people picking me up, so I completely understand that. Like
Yeah.
it freaks me out.
Yeah.
Sometimes if someone's too tall, it also scares me a little bit because they're tall.
If someone's too tall, oh my god.
If someone's too tall, like this is why I never give anyone crap for like being intimidated by me because of my height. Is because if someone like I've met like someone who's like 7 feet tall, like they were really fucking tall. They were so tall.
Oh dear.
Like, have you ever seen Scrubs?
Only bits and pieces.
They were like giant doctor tall. They were really tall.
Oh god.
And he just towered over me, and I was just like, he's a giant. And I'm like 25 at this time, and I just like look at my sister dead in the eyes, and I'm just like, he's a giant.
Oh dear.
My sister's like, I'm sure that's not anything like what he wants to hear in his life.
My name in my free company's Discord is the tallest paladin. Oh dear.
Tallest paladin. Wow, so tall. My 8-foot tall row is guaranteed to step on anyone. It's rare to see a character taller than my row. Oh. Yeah.
That's like Index in real life, huh?
No, I'm only 5'9". I'm not that tall.
Okay.
I'm not that tall. I'm taller than the average woman. I'm the average height of a man in the United States.
You're like the average height of a model, though, I think.
Most models are anywhere between. It kind of depends on like which runway they were for, but yeah.
Usually the ones are pretty tall.
But I've been 5'9" since I was like 12.
Oh my.
It's been this tall for a very long time. bust sliders, muscles, and height.
Is that how it works?
Do you end up using any of the illegal mods?
Illegal mods.
There are illegal mods for the thing.
Uh-oh.
I know someone who uses them so that they can have their character naked. It bothers me. No. Good. Good, Shayna burps. I agree. I really like the hair that you can get. No, I lost my cap.
Okay.
Yes.
Zelda's beautiful just how she is. Nice. I'm gonna have fun making a character whenever the hell I start playing. I don't
Yes.
know. Maybe I should play. I don't know. Is Genshin more important than 14? Or...
If you start playing 14, you can play with me.
Okay.
Because I am not very far.
There were a couple other friends on a certain server I wanted to join. Do you want to like restart with me?
Yeah.
Or
I could restart with you. I might possibly have one on every server that I have friends on.
Oh
They
god.
could also do that as well.
Yeah, there's a certain friend, Hamudrel, I'd like to play with her and her community. Because, like, I see her playing all the time, and I'm like, fuck, I want to get into this. 14 over Genshin, 14 is a amazing MMO experience. I've heard it's got, like, the best PvP on the market. Well, this was a while ago, my friend told me that. I don't know how it is now. But I think people, like, just really enjoy the story, don't they?
It still does.
Still does? Okay.
I think the price and everything, it's really well done.
What is it? How much a month? It's monthly,
like
right?
19?
I see.
I think 19. It's like a $90 game and then like 19 a month.
Oh jeez. Ouch.
I feel like it's like 20. It's like 20ish a month.
Community is awesome. People like the story. Is the story the best part though? That people like the most? I wonder what the like main selling point would be. You can only
Play for free
free
to
up
level 60.
Okay, so you can just see how it is till that point. That'd be nice. Are pretty rad. Okay, I'll check it out, man. But yeah, thank you for the raid, Burbs. I appreciate it, man. Hope things are going well with you and your stream, dude. Alright.
Did I read this?
Yeah,
I read this.
Yeah, we're at a rather twisted moment in this fucking visual novel right now.
I feel like I already read this.
Yeah, I think you did. I play Shin of Again. You don't play Final Fantasy, kitten?
But you don't have to do. You don't have that. You're a coward who still can't decide if he should be proud or ashamed of his accomplishments. Achievements. Same difference.
I guess.
How could you accept the position of director with such a half-hearted determination? You knew from the beginning that this research couldn't be brought to fruition without adding further blood to your already stained hands.
Nope, so I'm gonna go commit controlled unconsciousness. Oh, you enjoy that. You enjoy that controlled unconsciousness. You get a good sleep, my friend. Thank you.
I wish I could have uncontrolled unconsciousness.
You want death?
No, Index needs narcolepsy.
Oh. Well, not yet. Well, too many games to play. Yeah, I know that fucking feeling. Jesus Christ. Let's see. I don't know what to say. Maybe I am half-hearted.
Then why don't you resign? You still have the obligation to keep things secret, but at least you won't have to feel guilty anymore. You may be my partner, but you're also simply a person who was requested by my client. Now that this research institute is fully developed, You aren't needed. If you don't even have the necessary determination to do research to begin with, you are you're an especially useless partner. I'll never quit researching. I'm not afraid of guilt or regret. My conviction is what will take me to the future. Just like Dr. Takano succeeded, I'll succeed alone.
That's impressive. However, though my determination may not come close to yours, I too have a will, and that's why I'm here. As you said, I already have blood on my hands. After I arrived in Hinamazawa, they got even bloodier. So, I can't just run from my responsibilities. I'll probably continue to be tormented by my unatoned sins. But I won't run. I'll get to the bottom of Hinamazawa syndrome. That's the least I can do for all the people who gave their lives for this research. And also for those who will give their lives from now on. Ide wore a determined look on his face. He appeared different from even a moment before, when he was baffled by Takano having brought up those painful memories. Just being a bitch. Don't fucking stand your ground, dude. Fuck. For a short while, Ide's eyes displayed his strong will, and then he turned around. We'll probably get consent from Rika-chan's examination, so please start preparing for it.
Yes, I understand. Director.
They got their consent the following week.
Ugh,
Wow.
Takano's such a bitch.
He's a bitch.
She's a bitch, but you love her anyway.
He's like, you have a conscience, you piece of shit. Basically, it's what that whole thing was. The death, no. No. The discontinuation,
No.
no.
Do we have that one? The Erie's determination?
We have his determination.
Decision is required. Do we have that? Click it, see if we have it.
I don't think we do. Oh, we do. Fuck.
Oh yeah!
Plans for Totoko-chan's section are moving right along. I don't want Satoshi-kun to be sad. I feel pity for Satoko-chan in her harsh circumstances. I'm still struggling with how much I have to sacrifice for the sake of research.
Kyrie?
Huh? Oh, sorry. What is it, Rika-chan?
One of my friends has been in the clinic for a long time. Do you think she has Hinamizawa syndrome?
Who told you that?
No one, I just thought about it. So what do you think, Kyrie? Does Satoko have Hinamizawa syndrome?
Rika-chan is on our side. There's nothing you have to hide from her. Actually, I probably shouldn't keep anything from her. Yes. The problems with her parents and their sudden deaths, it was all too much for her to bear. Maybe that was what triggered it.
What did the test results say?
L5. She seems perfectly fine on the surface, but her emotions are extremely unstable. Since the other day, she's even been refusing to meet with Satoshi-kun.
Satoshi told me he's worried that it's taking a very long time for Satoko to get better. Irie, what will happen to Satoko?
Satoko-chan is Rika-chan's best friend. How can I tell her that we're planning to dissect Satoko-chan? However, even if I don't say anything, she already knows that Satoko-chan's situation is extremely poor.
Didn't you find out a lot of things when you examined me?
Sure, of course. We're even testing medicine which might be able to control the symptoms.
Can you give that message then to Satoko?
I thought about it, but it's just too dangerous. We're still in the trial stages and trying to gather more data. We can't use it on someone who's in a delicate situation like Satoko-chan.
Then, if you won't try the medicine, what will happen to Satoko?
She spoke as if aware of our plans for Satoko-chan. No, she must actually know. I've told her about most of my research. She's more mature than she looks, so it'd be easy for her to figure it out.
There's even 1%. Sorry. If there's even a 1% chance of Satoko getting better, then I think we should take that chance.
It's extremely risky. Worst case, she could immediately display terminal symptoms and hallucinate, or potentially lose her consciousness and spend the rest of her life just staring blankly at a wall. Either one would be too cruel of a fate for her.
Oh,
Stop. Don't
sorry.
Do it. Don't do it.
Sorry.
Don't do it.
I already yawned.
Don't do it, Index.
It happened.
So, you're saying it's better for her to die in her sleep? Yuri. Just like Takano says, there's no guarantee in medicine. But if we don't do anything, Satoko will die for sure. I think it's clear what we should do.
That's true. You're right. But I know too well. C-103, the medicine that's being tested, may not even be something that can be used. It may not even have a 1% chance of success. Worse, I can't even imagine what kind of tragic end she'd meet if her body rejects the medicine. That's why I'm tempted to believe it would be far more merciful to feed her favorite food. Let her gently fall asleep, and after that, dissect her while she dreams. I don't want to admit it, but Takano-san is right. I'm being indecisive and showing a lack of resolve. How effective could the medicine made by someone like that really be? So, because it was medicine I created myself, I couldn't even believe there might be a 1.1% chance of success.
I think we can believe in it.
She spoke as if she read my mind. Surprised, I raised my head up to look at her, and found her giving me a reassuring look I never would have imagined someone her age capable of.
Lives depend on your job. It's almost absurd that a human being can control life and death like that. I can't even imagine the pressure.
Her voice hasn't changed, but I feel like Rika-chan is admonishing me. Almost as if she knows what it's like to be responsible for human lives.
Guilt and regret are all a part of that. That's why you can't use the medicine on Satoko. Isn't that right?
Takano said the same thing when she criticized me earlier. I'm being criticized again.
But that's why I can trust you with Satoko.
What?
Human lives are precious. You understand that very well, and that's why you do what you do. Without knowing that, how could you heal people? Do you think I trust medicine created by Takano, who thinks humans are just her guinea pigs?
I should have laughed, but I couldn't help it. Shouldn't have laughed, but I couldn't help it. I felt like I should laugh.
If both you and Takano each produce different medicines, I think yours would be the one to cure her. Because your medicine came from your heart. Your will to heal people is what cures them.
You're absolutely right. I can't believe you're admonishing me about medicine.
I'll let you use my body for Satoko. Everything you took out of me is for her. If you create that medicine with the knowledge of how precious human lives are, then of course it'll work on Satoko.
Do shrine maidens take confessions? If they do, she's doing a great job being a shrine maiden at this age. This will be a gamble. The question is whether Satoko-chan will accept it.
We don't need to tell her. Learning of the Hinamisawa syndrome will only dredge up the deep scar in her heart again.
What did she mean by those words? When I realized it later, I was surprised by how thoughtful and perceptive she was. Let's stop plans for the dissection. We're going to give Satoko Hojo C103. I'll do my best to increase the chance by even 1%.
Worry, Yurie. It'll work.
You shouldn't be so optimistic.
I know it'll work. It's already decided. That's a very reassuring prophecy from the Furude Shrine's Shrine Maiden. Go for it! Yay! Wait, I want to do that one again. Go for it! Yay!
Star.
Hooray! Star! Ah!
Meeper.
Meeper!
Okay, how many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 so far.
Hey, isn't there one that takes 7?
I don't know if it'll work. Nope.
I wonder if it means the total, like
7
those
fragments.
ones.
It says 7 exactly. Huh.
I wonder if it means the other,
7
the...
fragments of Matsuribayashi for that chapter. So it's probably 7 of that specific chapter, maybe? Yeah.
Not sure.
Okay. I think we're gonna call it now, actually. It's like 10 o'clock almost.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Save.
You say that as it's like 9:59.
It's like 11 over there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thank you all for coming to hang out tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Index, for helping me tonight. Thank you, St. Hertz, for the raid.
It is my pleasure.
Let's see here. Let's see who's available to raid. Let's see. What's everybody playing?
Hey.
Nobody's playing anything similar, really. Should I raid someone I haven't raided? Someone's playing Drunk Uno? Oh, God. I kind of want to fucking go fuck that up.
That's funny.
Alright, let's do this. This is somebody I've collabed with before. Whom I should probably talk to more. They're pretty cool.
Oh no.
Okay, so let's see. Give us your fish.
Higurashi raid. Now give us your fish.
Higurashi. Okay, that'll be our raid message, everybody. Don't copy down the heckin' emotes if you ain't subscribed. And thank y'all. Have a good Thanksgiving for all you American viewers. Have a good 4-day weekend if that's what you're getting. I know I do. 4-day weekend. But yeah, don't eat too much turkey that you die. Get plenty of rest, and I'll see y'all on Friday. But yeah, have a good night, everybody. Mwah, kisses. We're gonna raid Adrian, a Holic, and they're playing Drunk Uno. That'll be fun to fuck around in.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Let me see. Let me type the raid message. The raid command.
Good night.
Funny, her name's Adrianaholic, and she's drunk right now. I wonder if she regularly has fucking drunk streams.
Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, very possible. Yeah, good night, everybody. See y'all Friday. Mwah.